Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the Apache Halloween YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'll be unboxing Tekky Toys' Guardian of the Grave. Let's get right into the unboxing. So, I put tape on them just to protect the box, prolong it. But as you can see, it's a full design box this time. It is not just a brown box with the label slapped on it. No, it's a full detailed box. But once you first open it, on the inside, the first thing I'm going to pull out is the tombstone. Here is the tombstone in its foam or plastic packaging at the bottom half. And the top half. Next is the head and clothing piece. So this is the old original model. His eyes still worked last time I set him up, so that's good. So there he is. And he's got his fog tube as well. Here are the stakes, plastic and metal. You get 5 in total. This looks to be his instructions. Again, simple Tekky Toys instructions. I'm going to pull this all out at once. So you have the telescoping module, is what it's called, I believe. And then you have, here's your fogger module that hooks up to the fog machine. I will be doing a demo without the fog machine in the beginning, and then see if I can get my fog machine fired up and take one outside. But that is everything in the box. So now, let's set them up. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is just put the batteries in, but just make sure he stays in the off position. Don't want to wreck him or anything of that nature. But put it all together. This guy does work on a timer. I think he goes off like every 5, or is it 2 minutes? It might be 2 minutes, not too sure. But here's his base. It's a white base. It's got some weight on it, not a lot though. He can be plugged in with a 6-volt 2-amp adapter. He can also work off of a foot pad. Sound activated, that's what I believe this is. I think that's the only way he activates, actually, that and the timer. He's got his control switch, got foot pad mode, off and on mode, and then a relay switch for the fogging in case it doesn't work initially. I think you just press that. So there's the base. Next thing I'm going to do is take his telescoping module, and it just twists on like that, and I'll just plug the respective wires to each other like so. These go up to the lights in the head. Next, I'm going to take his main head and shoulders and just find the little knob and just get it to twist lock into place. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to activate him and get him in the up position so I can figure out where his hose should go and position him, because this is probably one of the harder guys to get him to move up how you want him to, and I'll show you why in a minute. But let me just turn him on. Now that he's in the up position, you can see how he actually turned a little bit. So what I have to do is figure out what the best way for him to sit is. And while this is all going on, I might as well just plug in his eyes. So hopefully that like works. So I'm going to take his fog cable, his fog tube, and have it, there's a piece of tape right here, and I'm going to tie this wire around it. It says do not remove for some odd reason. I wonder why. But I'm going to tie it on the tape. Now we need to find a position that works best for him. Seems like something like this. So I have him pushed off to the side right now. I'm going to take the tombstone and put all the stakes in him, or it. And you just take your simple like base stakes that could stake in the ground. It's all very loose after 2 years of using him, which is unfortunate. Again, I'm going to take this guy, this tombstone, and make it thicker and just more weatherproof. I have 2 of these anyway, so if I wanted to keep the original one, I can. And then we're just going to slide this part on top. Like that. Now I will take his arms, and he has Velcro strips on his arms that they just Velcro onto the tombstone like this. Do that for both sides. And he's basically set up. I need to make sure the fog tube is how it should be and that everything is set up, but generically the area is all set up. There's just minor things that I'll have to do, and that if you have one yourself that you'll have to do as well. So there he is, all done basically. Now there's some minor stuff that I still have to make sure he works, like he's gonna go down and his body's gonna shift. I'll just have to make sure it's all lined up how I want it to be. And if you have one of these guys, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But once that's done, we'll go into the demo and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so it's been a couple of days since the last time I took a video, but here is the new tombstone for the Guardian of the Grave. I did some paint work to it, painted in the skulls a little more. I added some just yellowish, goldish paint to some of the details, and then just painted the center red to represent like a ruby. And then the tombstone is actually about 3 or 4 inches wide now, so it's a lot thicker. It's able to stand up on its own, so that's pretty good. And I have his fog hooked up to him, so that should be all ready to go. And you just got to remember to plug in his fog switch. Just plugs into his base and goes into the fog machine. But he's all ready to go, so now let's get into the demo. So there he is, the Tekky Toys and Spirit Halloween's Guardian of the Grave. Another effective Tekky Designs props, and very just eerie overall. I love the sound in the background of the tolling bells, and just the detail on the tombstone is awesome too. His face is eerie, and his eyes just blinking on and off as he slowly rises. Very creepy in a graveyard. There's his side. Fairly tall too. But there's not much else to say about this guy. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, please like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next video.